All right, so welcome to Public Speaking Online. This is our week 1 weekly overview. Today, your spokesperson, the person who has attended the class, is Caleb, and he's going to be filling in any questions that you guys might have, filling in the blanks between what I say and what is understandable, because what I say doesn't always make sense, and I'm pretty cool with that. All right, my name's Rebecca Lane, and I'll be your instructor, and this is the walkthrough of public speaking. All right, so first I want to talk about navigating PSP, public speaking. So this is going to be, this class is a lot of work. And one of the ways to really stay on top of this class is to make sure that you're navigating. So we are involving two websites. We are using FSO, and we're also using a program called SpeechClass. So you will have two websites that you must have access to complete this class. So the first thing that you want to know is you want to make sure you access the references section in Public Speaking Online. So we've got that course calendar, we've got the course syllabus, how to access your ebook and speech class. We've got a compression guide. It tells you how to export your video. And right down there it says the RISE model for meaningful communication. We've actually deleted that since I made this slideshow, so that is not there anymore. But there is, again, a course calendar, the syllabus, how to access your ebook and speech class. You cannot pass this class without speech class, so you really need to access that as quickly as possible. And how to compress your videos. So how to make those videos as small as possible so that they upload as quickly as possible. Okay, so when you go and you open up your calendar, let's see, your calendar is going to look a little bit like that, but actually it is a little bit different. It is more specifically going to look like this. So this is your weekly overview. You'll see the changes that have been made based on the slideshow that I've put together are where your response posts are due. So you'll see that your response posts have been moved to Saturday. So we're going to follow through with the slideshow that I have put together. But keep in mind that the calendar, there is one tiny difference. Those response posts are due on Saturday. All right. So we're going to get back into that. So there's what your calendar looks like. So when we do these overviews, you are going to have to submit some test questions. There are 5 test questions for every single lecture. And those test questions will be revealed, the answers to those test questions will be revealed throughout the video. Sometimes the questions are given to you at the very end, sometimes I release them throughout. Everybody who is earning a grade for this class needs to complete these questions. So here's question number 1. How many times are we going to use GoToMeetings each week? So let's take a look at that calendar. You're going to see on here that we have GoToMeetings on well, if you look on here, GoToMeetings, those questions are due on Mondays and they're due on Wednesdays. So what that means is that we are using GoToMeetings 2 times a week, and those lectures, those live lectures, will happen sometime before those questions will be due. So you'll just want to make sure that you are diligent. If you are not able to see the GoToMeeting, the live GoToMeeting, that is completely fine. We do offer an archive. Now I want to take you into online here. And what I want you to see, oops, I went to the wrong one. What I want you to see is the announcements page, because on the announcements page, you will see this announcement called GoToMeetings Dates and Times. And this announcement actually lists all of the dates and times for the GoToMeetings this month. So if you are excited about attending these GoToMeetings in a live forum, you can go ahead and schedule these things in advance within your own calendar and make sure you show up on time. Now, any time that I list on this website is going to be Eastern Standard Time. So those of you who are on Pacific Time or Central Time, any time that I put is going to be Eastern Standard Time. So even if that time is missing, this little EST, please note that it's Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so you'll see that the anticipated go-to meetings for the weekly updates. So this is an example of a weekly update, are on these 4 days. And they all are going to use that same link. It's right here. And here are the anticipated go-to meetings and times for the lectures that are due on Wednesday. And you'll see that we are still updating this. I will get you the updated, well, I will post the updated times as soon as I can, and they will be updated very soon. Times are subject to change. Sometimes we get sick, sometimes we have life emergencies as instructors, so we do our best to make sure that everything happens as scheduled, but sometimes that doesn't happen. So just keep in mind, be patient. We will do our best, our very, very best to stick to the times that are posted. All right, back to the slideshow. Here we go. I think this is where we were. So that's your one question. How many times do we have go-to meetings each week? All right. Moral of the story is update your slides. All right. So the late policy for this class is we do not, no late work is accepted. If you do happen to have a life emergency, you must complete the late submission worksheet. Now that late submission worksheet I just had up, where did it go? It looks like this. So you will see our late work policy. It's effective as of September. And here's what it is. In real life, in the entertainment business, late work is not accepted. People run on deadlines, and you getting your work done. Somebody else finishing their project is contingent on you finishing the work that you needed to do. So in order to set you up for a real-life career in entertainment, we are going to instate that we have instated this policy. No late work is accepted. All right? So if you do have a severe illness, a natural disaster, a medical emergency, and you are able to document it, there is a possibility that I will accept it. I will not accept anything without official documentation submitted through FSO. So what this means in your case is that if you are severely ill, I need to have documentation like a hospital report or a doctor's note that says you were unable to work for a whole day prior to this assignment being due. Or there was a natural disaster and all the internet went out. So a natural disaster, that could be like a news report and a copy of your mailing address showing me that you live in this place. So we're looking for PDF documentation that you can upload to FSO. We have a lot of technology involved in this class. This is an online class and you're dealing with video submissions. So it's really important that you understand that technological complications do not count as exceptions. Unless your technological complication happens to do, unless your technological complication happens to do with a natural disaster, as set up here, those technological complications will not be accepted. All right. So if you do want an extension, what you will do is within that document, you are going to complete the late assignment submission form, and it's attached to the bottom of this document like that, and you are going to complete it fully. Within that document, you will include your late work, the documentation, and an explanation. You're going to upload this document to the late submission assignment on FSO within 72 hours of the original due date, and only appeals with attached documentation will be approved. So what that means is that if you do not include that PDF, even if you completed the work, it will not be accepted. And it's not my job to let you know that the PDF was not attached. So it's really important to make sure that if you have an emergency, everything that needs to be there is actually included. All right. And even if I do accept the work, every work that is submitted is due to a 10% penalty for every day past that stated deadline. All right, so here's that worksheet. You're going to include your full name. The assignment title is listed on FSO. You're going to go ahead and copy and paste that. You're going to have the assignment due date and time. When was it originally due? You're going to have that assignment submission date and time. So when was it really due? When did you actually turn it in? What's your rationale for late submission? What is the late penalty? Go ahead and calculate the difference between this date and this date. What's that late penalty? You're going to paste your documentation in the form of a scanned PDF or pasted email right here. And then the work that you are submitting is going to be included in the same document. So for example, if it's a video, go ahead and upload that video to YouTube. Go ahead and paste the link right here. If you do paste a video to YouTube, if I can't view it at the time that I grade it, it will not be accepted. So make sure that you have checked the privacy setting. Private videos set to private on YouTube are not viewable. And so that will not count as a submitted video. So make sure you're really conscientious about that. All right, moving forward, late policy. All right, so here's question number 2. How do I submit late work in this class? And I'm going to add to this, what is how do I submit late work in this class? Okay, so that is question number 2. What is the late work policy for this class? How do I submit late work in this class? All right, so now we're going to move on to contacting your instructor, and that would be me, Rebecca Lane. Go ahead and play that again. All right, my name is Rebecca Lane. My email is rlane@fullsail.com. You can find me on AIM at rlane@fullsail.com. You can find me in the Full Sail office for 4 hours a week at 407-679-0100, extension 6947. Or you can call me whenever I say that I am online on my Google Voice number, and that is 407-476 5291. All right, 407-476-5291. So here's the deal. This is the fastest way to reach me. It goes directly to my cell phone. And if it is outside of my office hours and you have an assignment emergency, or you would just like to talk a little bit more about the class, go ahead and call me at this number. I'll pick up if I have time. If it's outside my stated office hours and I don't pick up, it probably means that I'm doing something else. If it is inside my normal office hours and I don't pick up, it probably means I'm talking to another student right now. So make sure, no matter what you do, you leave a message. The way Google Voice works is it doesn't let me know that you have called unless you actually leave a message. So it's really important that you do that if you want me to get back to you. Otherwise, I have a 48-hour turnaround policy on my emails. I'm usually available on chat. Again, if I am online, you are welcome to chat with me. And you can certainly try my office phone number, but that's a little bit harder. All right, so here's what's happening this week. Those are the basic rundown of the class. Now I want to run through this week in particular. So on Monday, as in tomorrow evening, you're going to need to answer all of the questions that I go through right now, and you're going to need to submit those answers on FSO. All right. On Monday also, go ahead and complete that professionalism contract. That talks you through the expectations for this class, what we expect, what we consider professional behavior, stuff like that. On Tuesday, you need to schedule your Google Hangouts meeting. So that says FSO on Doodle. So we're not using Doodle this month. We've made a lot of changes this month. This is exciting. So we're not using Doodle this month, but you are going to create teams. So the way those teams are going to work, I'm going to go ahead and pull those up right here because I think that's going to be easier to understand if we do it like this. So you will be meeting every week with your classmates on Google Hangouts. And you are doing this for a couple of reasons. First, public speaking is really about synchronous communication. There are some skills that we can practice without people watching us, without us responding to people. But at the end of the day, it really helps to have people watch you because we respond in real time. So the goal for these Google Hangout teams is for you to be able to practice your presentation with people that you know, that you feel comfortable with, and with people who are taking the class with you. So step one on this, what you're going to do is you're going to select a team for your entire month. You're going to work with these same 4 to 5 people the entire month. And you'll meet with them 3 times. So the first time you're going to meet for a practice session. And then the second time, you're going to meet to practice your outline for your informative speech. So you'll be practicing your informative speech. That's due on week 3. And then the third time you'll meet with your team is to practice your outline for your persuasive speech. So the way you do this is first, you are going to connect with people. So on the discussion forum, go ahead and explain who you are, give us your contact information and your available meeting times each week. And this is how you're going to be graded on this. First, you're going to post your first and last name and your contact information. When I grade this is what I'm looking for. You can include your email address, your telephone number, social media contact information, but you need at least 3 ways that your team can contact you. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to post the times that you're free each week in Eastern Standard Time. So we're just going to make sure that we're all on the same page, Eastern Standard Time, to meet with your Google Hangouts team members. So for example, you can post something like this. Hey folks, I'm free on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 o'clock after 9 p.m. on Eastern Standard Time, as well on Tuesdays. You can also post more specific availability as listed here, but just let people know when you're available. So based on availability, you're going to want to form your teams. So once you have formed your team, remember a team is only 4 to 5 people, so you really don't want to have 6 people. We're only going for 4 to 5. You're going to go ahead and form your Google Hangouts team, and you're going to designate a team leader. And you're going to use the discussion forum and the contact information to go ahead and do this. So remember, if you ever need immediate feedback from somebody, the discussion forum is not going to be the fastest. Email is not going to be the fastest. The fastest way to reach people and really get an answer is by using the phone. So I strongly recommend you actually call people on the phone for this assignment. It's going to get things happening a lot faster. So what you'll want to do is you will want to schedule these meetings already. You're going to have a team practice. Everybody in your team needs to be there. You're going to submit this practice. The way you're submitting these practices is you will use Google Hangouts, you'll meet with people, and you're going to use QuickTime to go ahead and do a screen recording of your session. You're going to pick your favorite 2 minutes, you're going to post that video online. That's how I know that you guys have met. So the video of your team practice will be due by 11:59 Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday of week 2. All right, so what that means is that you are going to want to meet at least 6 hours before 11:59 Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday of week 2. I recommend you practice as soon as possible. That assignment will be open on Wednesday, so you could complete this meeting as early as Wednesday. Next, you've got your informative outline practice. The informative speech will be available on Friday of week 2. Friday of week 2. So what you will want to do is on Friday of week 2, you'll want to go ahead and open up your informative speech assignment, and you're going to want to start working on that so that you have an outline that is ready to practice when your group has scheduled this. And the same thing's happening for your persuasive speech practice. This can happen anytime between the weekend of week 3 and 6 hours before this submission time, right there. So once you select your groups, you're going to designate a team leader. So this team leader is going to be the person who will be completing step 3. And this is the person who's going to remain in constant communication with me during this month. So group members who are not the team leader, if you have a problem with the group meetings, you're going to contact your team leader. If your team leader is having problems reaching you guys or having problems with etiquette or stuff like that, that team leader is going to contact me. If you guys as a group have questions about the expectations for any meeting, that team leader is going to contact me and then go ahead and disseminate that information. So that's how that works. So finally, this assignment, the team leader is going to submit one post listing with the first and last names of all 4 to 5 team members. So remember that your team is going to need to be available at one mutual date and time for week 1. Week 1 and 2 team practice. The team will decide how to approach the informative outline practice during week 2 and 3, and the persuasive outline practice during week 3, 4. So remember, you guys can do these outline practices as a large group. You can do them as a small group. It just depends. But the team leader is responsible for group communication and scheduling. And team leader, make sure that you remain in contact with me if there are problems. And here's the rubric below. And you can go ahead and download that from FSO. It's all right here. All right, moving forward. Where did we go there? All right, so that is due on Tuesday. You're going to go ahead and schedule that meeting. The entire meeting and the video, that's due next week. But the scheduling of that is due on Tuesday. All right, so due on Wednesday. You're going to have another lecture on Wednesday, and it'll be a lecture with me. I'll be talking to you guys about speech delivery, so those delivery aspects that we're looking for. This is going to happen on Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time this month, and I'll be excited for you guys to join me. Remember, those questions will be due at night, so don't forget to fill those questions out. Also due on Wednesday, you have a discussion and response post 1. It's called Discovering Online Speech Delivery. You can read those directions there. I think they're pretty clear. If you have questions, go ahead and give me an email or a call. And that's due on FSO. So on Thursday, we're going to start using Speech Class. Okay, so Speech Class is, you should be receiving a code for Speech Class. And this is going to be an email from the Bedford and St. Martin people, so you may need to check your junk mail. And it's a code for a website, so it doesn't look exactly like your regular old textbook codes. It looks a little bit different. You will need to register for Speech Class as soon as possible. If it gets to be Thursday and you have not registered for Speech Class, you are going to have problems passing this class. Okay? So that's the kind of thing you need to start communicating with me on as early as today or tomorrow. So you've got a reading quiz due on Speech Class on Thursday night. Now, these reading quizzes are cool. You can take them as many times as you want. It's really just to help reinforce the information, and so they're kind of these learning quizzes. So you can get whatever grade you want to get on these quizzes. You just have to take them a couple of times. So on Friday, you're going to have a TED Talk evaluation due, and this is also due on Speech Class. So the TED Talk evaluation, let's take a look at that on FSO. So we're opening this up on FSO. Here's what you are expected to put together for Friday of this week. So the purpose of this assignment is to watch one of the TED Talk videos and to learn by example. So the way we learn as public speakers is we watch other people, we figure out what other people do that we think is awesome, we figure out what other people do that puts us to sleep or confuses us, and we do the stuff that we think is awesome, and we try not to do the stuff that wasn't working for us. And here's the thing, is that different tricks work for different speakers, and it's really just about trying things out, figuring out what works for you, and continuing that experimentation and that growth process. And this is something that we do our entire lives. So even professional speakers that I know go through this continuous process of watching other people, copying what works, not doing what doesn't work. And so the way that we're going to start this is we're just going to start this conversation. And also, we want to start to strengthen our own delivery techniques by examining these TED presenters. So you will apply the concepts that you learn about delivery. So we're going to have that delivery lecture on Wednesday. And you're going to compare and contrast Sir Ken Robinson's TED Talk to a TED Talk of your own. So you're going to watch two different speakers on TED. And you're going to compare and contrast their speech and their delivery. So what works, what doesn't work, what's the difference? And sometimes two speakers will do will have two completely different approaches, and both of those approaches will work, right? So what's working and what's not. So we're watching speakers in a professional environment speak to us. So TED stands for Technology, Entertainment, and Design. And TED, it's an organization that really works to bring creative and productive people together to share their work with the world. So you're going to select any TED Talk of your choice, except for the Sir Ken Robinson talk. And you're going to do that comparison up here. You don't have to use a slideshow for this. I'm not wanting you to use visual aids. This is really just you sitting and talking to the camera. So the very first thing you'll do is you'll watch Sir Ken Robinson's TED Talk. He's got this video called School Kills Creativity. It's really, I think you're going to find it really interesting. Next, you're going to look at these TED commandments. If you can't find them, if the link doesn't work, go ahead and Google those. They're pretty easy to find on Google. And then you want to go ahead and check the FSO discussion board. So if somebody else has already chosen a TED Talk or a speaker, you won't be able to do that. You will have points deducted if you have a repeat. So go ahead and claim your speaker right away. Start this as quickly as possible. It's going to give you more time to think about it. So once you've chosen your TED Talk, post that person's name on the discussion board so you claim that person. We really only want one person to cover any given talk. So after you've chosen your speaker, you're going to craft and record a narrative style speech in which you answer the following questions. So what I mean by narrative style is you're going to tell us a story. So go ahead and look in your textbook, figure out what narrative style, narrative structure is, and you're going to use that as a format. But these are the questions that you want to make sure that you answer, and you probably want to answer them in this order. What I'm not looking for is for you to say, question 1, who was the speaker that you chose and what is the thesis of the speech? Today I decided to talk about Sir Ken Robinson, and Sir Ken Robinson was talking about blah, blah, blah. Question number 2. So that is not what I'm looking for. What I am looking for is something that opens with impact, something where you get our attention first, then you tell us who you are, then you tell us who you're going to talk about, and then you end with a final summary, something that wraps it all together. And in the meantime, you answer all of these questions, but not in a question-answer format. You kind of want to smooth it out. So once you have chosen your speaker, posted your speaker's name on FSO, and after you've posted your speaker's name on FSO, you're going to go ahead and watch Sir Ken Robinson and your speaker's video. You're going to answer all of these questions, and then you're going to write and deliver a narrative style speech, and you're going to record yourself delivering this narrative style speech. The very last step is to upload your video to either YouTube or Speech Class. And then, even if you do upload it to YouTube, you're going to submit it, you're going to embed that video in Speech Class. So the directions are here. I'm going to go through how to do that really quickly also. So just final things to remember. On Friday, do not post your speech on the same TED Talk as a fellow classmate. We all have access to the discussion forum. Make sure you do a little bit of research first. So do not duplicate somebody else's video. Also, I suggest you watch Sir Ken Robinson's TED Talk video first, then review the commandments, then find somebody else. So somebody that you can compare this to. Really pay attention to those discussion boards. Do not choose a speaker that has already been chosen. And going back to the structure of your speech, really make sure that this is a narrative style speech. So we want to have an introduction. We want to have a conclusion. We want to get people's attention before you speak. So you will lose points if you start your speech, "Hello, my name is Rebecca Lane, and today I'm going to talk to you about Sir Ken Robinson." If those are the very first words that I hear, you will lose points. That is not following the narrative speech structure. So go ahead and read through that a little bit. We really want to make sure that this is carefully crafted. All right, so let me know if you have any questions about this. Any questions in the chat world? Ooh, it looks like we have another person. Jenny Jonathan, welcome. All right, I'm not seeing any questions, so I'm going to keep on going. So here we go. So this says on Friday, but it's actually due on Saturday. Let's update that. You're going to post your response post to your TED evaluations. And this, again, is happening on Speech Class. So Speech Class does this really cool thing where we can post things in real time. Or not in real time, but attached. You can post comments that are attached to the time code within the video. So you will post your comments on your peers' videos in Speech Class. So let's take a look at that on FSO, because I think it makes a little bit more sense when we look at it that way. Here we go, your TED Talk response post. And this one we don't have anything to download, but these directions are here. So you're going to use Speech Class to respond to 2 of your classmates. So you have to respond to 2 whole people. That means you're going to watch the speech your classmate commented on, and you're going to watch your classmate's TED evaluation video. This class is pretty ironic that it's online, Caleb says. You know what? It is a little bit ironic, but I think we do a pretty good job of bringing in live audiences, Caleb. I think it's a little bit more work on my end and on your end, but I think you'll find that it meets some of those requirements. So you're going to watch the speech that your classmate commented on, and you're going to watch your classmate's speech. And within your classmate's speech, so the speech that your classmate speaks and posts to Speech Class, you're going to identify 2 comments that your classmate has said that you agree with. So your classmates watched this TED video, they made a couple claims, they answered some questions, and there might be 2 things that you completely agree with, 2 assessments. So you're going to say, hey, I agree with you when you say this thing, and this is why I agree with you. And then you're also going to post 2 completely independent comments with which you disagree or agree with a little less, or things that you might want to debate. So you're going to have 2 completely different comments that talk about, hey, so you say this, and I was wondering if you meant this. Or you say this, and I think that I don't quite see delivery in the same way as you do, because this is what I see. Or something like that. And the point of this is not to tell your classmates that they're dumb, or to tell your classmates that they don't know what they're talking about. The point of this is to start to get a conversation going. So go ahead, and as long as you are supporting your own claims with something that is positive and constructive and well supported, it's okay if you disagree with somebody. That's how we develop things. So go ahead and find something that you disagree with a little bit less. Start a little bit of a conversation. And finally, you're going to go ahead and assess your classmates' recording setup. So is it professional and appropriate for this class? Why or why not? And we're going to learn a lot more about that as we go through the class this week. But these are the questions that you want to answer. So total, you are going to end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 completely separate comments posted on each video in Speech Class. So I guess if you add this up, it's actually 10 completely separate comments, 5 on classmate 1 and 5 on classmate 2. And so what you want to do is when you are posting comments on speech class, you have the ability to post them throughout the speech. So you're going to mark the moment that the speaker mentions the point you're commenting on, and you can actually stretch that to mark the entire number of seconds that your classmate is covering that point. So go ahead and do that when you're marking these. Here's your rubric. It covers exactly what I said up there. And also there's an extra category for appropriate participation. So are you using vocabulary from the delivery lecture? Are your comments written at the appropriate time code? Are they appropriate and professional? Stuff like that. So keep this in mind. And we're going to go back to this slideshow. Here we go. So this is your week. We've got this week 1 overview. Monday. So tomorrow night, you need to answer the questions in this video. You need to turn in your professionalism contract. You need to go ahead and schedule your Google Hangouts meeting and team. That needs to be posted by Tuesday. Wednesday, you've got a go-to meeting happening, and you're going to have to turn in those questions. You're also going to complete a response post on Wednesday. On Thursday, that is your last chance to not have, no, Wednesday's your last chance to not have speech class, because Thursday you're going to need to have speech class. You've got a reading quiz due. Friday, you've got your TED Talk evaluation due. That's going to be submitted through speech class. And Saturday, you're going to have to do those response posts to the TED Talk evaluation. So those are going to happen. And please notice Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, that's all happening through speech class. Caleb has a good question. Are we posting mainly on FSO or speech class, or are we posting on post when we turn in an assignment? Caleb, usually if you are on both. Okay, cool. Caleb, usually, and everybody, if you are posting a video, it's going to be through speech class. If you are commenting on a video that one of your peers submitted, it will be through speech class. If you are taking a reading quiz, it will be through speech class. If you are completing GoToMeeting review questions, those are submitted through FSO. So basically, within each assignment, it tells you whether it's on speech class or FSO, but the basic rule of thumb is if it's a video, it's on speech class. If it's a quiz that you can take multiple times, it's on speech class. If you're commenting on a video that your peer posted, it's going to be on speech class. So start scheduling your Google Hangouts team right away. So here are some general rules of thumb. Any video that you upload, you want to give yourself 4 hours. So please look at Fridays. Notice that you have a video due every single Friday. Now, nothing stops you from getting these assignments done early, right? Nothing is stopping you except your own personal schedule or scheduling ability. So I recommend getting these done as quickly as possible. But you want to give yourself 4 hours to upload. Here's the deal. If you are using McDonald's for your Wi-Fi connection, if you are using Starbucks, if you are using the public library, or if you are using your cell phone, you are going to have problems with this class. You might not be able to pass this class. In order to do well in this class, you must have reliable, high-speed internet. So if you do not have reliable high-speed internet in your home, you should contact your advisor immediately. You will have a very hard time passing this class. Okay, with that said, even if you do have reliable high-speed internet in your home, you will need to give yourself 4 hours to upload videos. Especially if we're using DSL these days. DSL, the upload speed varies based on how many people are actually online within our area at the same time. So as reliable as we would like our internet to be, speed can vary. It is your job to compensate for that variation in speed. So one of the things that I will tell you is that the very fastest way to get your videos uploaded will be to upload them to YouTube and embed the code in speech class. I'm going to show you how to do that. If you are worried about people seeing your video on YouTube, if you would like to have a private server, go ahead and upload it directly to SpeechClass. SpeechClass offers you that service. SpeechClass is a little bit slower. So I would bump that 4 hours to upload up to about 5 or 6 hours for SpeechClass, not because it will take 4 hours. We actually did a survey with students, and it seems like the general upload speed was anywhere from 5 minutes to 1 hour. Yes, Caleb, YouTube is absolutely optional. So with SpeechClass, the general upload speed is anywhere from 5 minutes to an hour. Usually, unless you run into problems. If you run into problems, you have to call the SpeechClass tech support, stuff like that. So 4 hours to upload minimum. Okay. So question number 3 that you will complete on FSO. How much time should I allow my videos to upload? And I just answered that. Okay. So I talked about this earlier, and I'm going to talk about it again. Complete your meetings over Google Hangouts early. First off, all 3 of these things involve video upload, which you can upload to YouTube or SpeechClass. You will definitely have to embed all videos on SpeechClass. So even if you upload it to YouTube, it needs to end up available through SpeechClass. But these meetings involve other people. And sometimes other people have scheduling conflicts and stuff like that. So you'll want to do this as early as you possibly can. Usually the earliest you're going to be able to do this is the Saturday after the last speech was due. So that's okay. Bear that in mind. Keep in mind that Saturday, Sunday, Monday, you're probably going to have a meeting with 2 to 5 other people. Make sure you schedule that in advance. Make sure you give yourself plenty of time to get these things done. All right, so question number 4. How soon should I meet with my group for my Google Hangouts practice sessions? Okay, so now I'm going to give you a basic rundown on SpeechClass. SpeechClass is an awesome tool. Sometimes it has some bugs. These bugs will not allow you to turn, just because you have a conflict or a bug, it doesn't mean that you will be able to turn in your assignments late. So what that means for you is you need to have the SpeechClass tech support number available, and you need to give yourself plenty of time to upload your videos. And that's important no matter what system you're using. So here's the deal. You really cannot pass this class without access to SpeechClass. You can't. So if you do not have your code, you need to contact FSO as soon as possible. So go ahead and read this announcement. This announcement is really important. Go ahead and go through that slideshow. So question number 5, what number do I call if I have a problem with my SpeechClass code? So that number is going to be the FSO support number. Go ahead and type that number out. I recommend you put that number in your cell phone if you don't have it there already. Okay. Question number 6, what number do I call if I have a problem with SpeechClass? So when you enter this on FSO, there are only 5 slots for questions. So go ahead and answer question 5 and question 6 within the same question slot. So question number 5, what number do I call if I have a problem with SpeechClass code? Go ahead and type that number in. And question number 6, what number do I call if I have a problem with SpeechClass specifically? And you're going to type that number in. You will find both of those numbers in this announcement. So I want to see the exact numbers that you're going to have to dial. And I recommend you put both of them in your cell phone. Okay. So once you are loaded into SpeechClass, this is stuff you're going to need to know. So you are going for the class with Rebecca Lane. So when you register for SpeechClass, you're going to have the option to choose public speaking. I think it doesn't look like this. I think it says public speaking section 1. Public speaking October section 1 is what the title is. So you're going to select public speaking section 1 October. And my name, Rebecca Lane, should be associated with that. But you will have the option to choose the other sections. Okay, if you signed up with the wrong teacher, then there is a way to change that, but you have to do it yourself. I'll talk you through that in just a second. So once you're signed in here, it's going to look a little bit like this. So you're going to see up at the top, we've got this home, ebook, assignments, gradebook. When you go to the assignment center, you're going to be able to see the assignments that you have to complete. All you have to do is click on that assignment and you'll be able to submit the video or submit whatever information you need to submit. You'll be able to see that assignment. So for example, if we're going into week 1 assignments and you want to find your reading quiz, the reading quiz is available. You see that very top there, week 1 assignments? That's where your reading quiz is going to be found. And you'll see all of these readings. We've got reading chapter 1, Introduction to Public Speaking, chapter 2, Developing Your First Speech, Audience Analysis, Delivering Your Speech. And then there's a reading quiz. You can take this quiz as many times as you want to take it. Which means, and I will record whatever grade you end up with. So go ahead and do that. Now, when you want to upload a video, so for example, we're going to see TED Talk evaluation. When you click on that, you'll be able to upload a video. If you want to upload to the speech class server, you will choose upload a new clip. The media type is going to be a video. Your video needs to be in one of these formats. And you're going to want that video to be as small as possible. All right, you're going to have a title, you're going to have a description and stuff like that. If you do not want to upload to speech class, you can upload to YouTube. If you have uploaded to YouTube, you are going to select the tab, it's the third tab, embed a web clip. So here's a video that I've posted on YouTube. I'm going to take that URL or that code, that embed code that's down at the bottom. You see on YouTube, you can select share your video. So when you share this video, that's the code. And I'm going to paste that code right in here in the embed the clip section. And I can do that same stuff. I can do the title, I can do a description. It's all right there. And then you're going to see this screen. This blue bar sometimes lasts a while. If this blue bar lasts more than an hour, call Speech Class Tech Support. Or refresh your screen. It should not take more than an hour. But remember, we're giving ourselves 4 hours just in case. Okay, so that's how that works. Okay, so the question of what happens if I signed up for the wrong teacher, because that happens. So right here, you're going to see this announcement titled Check Your Section in Speech Class. If you are in the wrong section, this video or this slideshow right here will tell you how to change sections. So you're going to go to yourspeechclass.com. You're going to go over here. And I think you guys can go through this yourself. But this will walk you through the step-by-step how to change. Okay. So that is week 1. That talks you through speech class. That should talk you through my general expectations for the class. We've talked through the late policy. All of that. So does anybody have any questions? Anybody in the chat box world? Let's see, we've got Jenny and Caleb here today, representing the entire Public Speaking Online class. So in general, I think this is going to be a good month. This class is a lot of work, and I will not lie to you, lots of work. However, I think it's good work, and I think it applies to most of our lives on a pretty daily basis. So, if you have any questions throughout this month, I really am available. I do best on the phone, so please don't hesitate to call me, but I will answer your emails. I will answer your chats, whatever you need. So I'm looking forward to working with you guys. All right, so right now I am going to end this video, and I'm going to open up the questions to Jenny and Caleb when they came. But for those of you who are watching the archive, this video is officially over. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I think this is going to be a fabulous month. All right. Rebecca Lane out.